morning to everybody. So your employer has received the Nulla Osta. With this Nulla Osta, you can enter in Italy when you go to Italian embassy in your country and ask for a visa. What have you to do, practically? Before speaking on this, I remember that you can become a member of this channel on YouTube. You can share all the videos that are shared every day on this channel. You can subscribe to this channel in order that you are updated with every new video that are charged, and you can like this video if you like it. Besides this, if you want to receive legal assistance or legal consultancy from this law firm, you can contact me at one of the addresses that you see now rolling on this video. But we speak about entering in Italy. So, as I said, the employer received the Nulla Osta and he sent you a copy of this Nulla Osta. This is very important because you cannot go to Italian embassy and ask for work visa if you haven't a copy of this Nulla Osta. So, first of all, you ask to the employer in Italy to send you a copy, an electronic copy of this Nulla Osta. But besides this, remember that also the Italian embassy in your country has a copy of this Nulla Osta, so don't worry, they know exactly who you are. But the first thing that you have to consider is that you have 180 days, that are something like 6 months of time to go to embassy and ask for the visa. So don't wait, because the time can be very long sometimes. Depends from your embassy, from the Italian embassy in your country, if they ask to book an appointment to ask for a visa, or if you can go directly and ask the visa with some documents. So don't wait, because some Italian embassies will put some big obstacles on the path of your entering in Italy, so you could lose your time to ask for the visa before you can be aware of the time that is passed. So don't wait. But let's see. Let's say that you got your visa, your work visa, so you can enter in Italy. What have you to do now? You have to contact immediately your employer in Italy. You have to go to his site, to the place where he is working, where he has his society, and ask to book an appointment with an Italian authority that is called Prefettura. Because only in this way you and your employer can start the process that will let you to get your first permit of stay in Italy, work permit. This is very important because some people that come to Italy don't know that they have to contact the employer. In most cases, they arrive in Italy thanks to some people of their own country that put in contact with the employer. So they arrive in Italy and they go to the person that put them in contact with the employer and not with the employer directly. That is a mistake, because the person that put you in contact with the employer in Italy cannot be genuine, cannot be a true person. So he could tell you that the employer, for example, is not interested in starting a job contract with you. You have not to trust of these people. You have to contact directly the employer. You have to have a copy of the request of Decreto Flussi that the employer sent to let you enter. So before the Nulla Osta, you have also to ask for a copy of the application for the Nulla Osta, because in the application is written the address of your employer. So you have to present yourself to the employer once you have arrived in Italy, not after 1 week, 2 weeks, a month, but immediately, the day after you arrive in Italy with the airport, for example, you go to the address of your employer and you introduce yourself to your employer in order that the employer does the necessary steps to start the process with the Prefettura. Okay, it depends from the moment you got this Nulla Osta, because the new Italian laws are providing that the employer will send an electronic certified email to the Prefettura to start the process, to manage the process, to send the contratto di soggiorno, that is an agreement between the employer and you about your job contract. Okay, this is a private agreement that the employer will send to prefettura. So you will not go physically to the prefettura, because every step will be done by the employer, just sending an electronic email to the prefettura. This is for the new Nulla Ostas. For the old one, that are the one of 2024-2023, there is still the old system that provides that the employer will send an advice to the prefettura that you are arrived in Italy, and so the prefettura will give him an appointment to go to prefettura. So you have to be in contact with the employer, because the employer will tell you that you have to go to prefettura, for example, in a certain day. You have to ask to the employer a print of the convocation, of the calling from the prefettura to go in a certain day, in order that you are aware of the day when you have to go to the prefettura together with the employer. When you go to prefettura with the employer, you and the employer will subscribe this contratto di soggiorno, and after that the prefettura will give you a form that you have to send through the any post office in Italy. This form is a request, is an application for a permit of stay, a job permit of stay with another authority that is called questura, that is a police headquarter. And this is the old system. With the new system, where, as I said, the employer has sent the contratto di soggiorno to prefettura through electronic system, the prefettura will return to the employer the form with the permit of stay. So you have to ask to your employer to give you a print of this form for permit of stay, and you have to use this form along with other documents that are specified in the form through a post office, in order that you can receive an appointment with the questura. When you go to the questura at the date of the appointment, they will take your fingerprints. Your fingerprints, you have to show them also the documents that are required, and after that the questura will ask you your personal telephone number, where you will receive after some days, usually a couple of weeks, 2 weeks, you will receive on your telephone number a message that advises you that the permit is ready to be collected. So you will go again in questura once you have received this message on your phone number to collect your permit of stay. So this is all the steps that are to be followed in order that you can get to your first job permit. So let's say that your job permit is not for a regular job permit, for lavoro subordinato, that is a job permit for a job contract where you have 1 year, 2 years of contract, or undefined document, tempo indeterminato. Let's say that you are in Italy for a seasonal job. For example, you are working for an hotel, for a touristic society, or in agriculture. This is a seasonal permit, permesso per lavoro stagionale. In this case, what have you to do once the permit has expired? So first of all, you have to be aware if your employer wants to renew the contract, if he wants to go besides the seasonal job contract or not. If he doesn't want to prolong, to renew your job contract, that is not a problem, because in the meantime you can find another employer that maybe wants to hire you for 1 year, 2 years, or for an undefined term, for a tempo indeterminato. In this case, like in the case that your employer, your first employer, wants to renew your job contract, you have to ask for a conversion from seasonal job permit to a ordinary job permit, from lavoro domestico to lavoro subordinato. To get to this conversion, you have to do two steps. First step is to contact again the prefettura to ask if they have some quotes, some nulla osta to conversion from seasonal work permit to ordinary work permit. This is a mandatory step that you have to follow. You cannot ask directly to questura the conversion from your seasonal job permit to a ordinary job permit. First of this, you have to ask to the prefettura if there is the nulla osta to change from the first permit to the second permit. Once you receive a positive response from the prefettura, then you can apply for the conversion of your job permit. It is very important that you move yourself to this step with some anticipation. That means that you have not to ask for the conversion of your permit once that the permit has expired, but you have to think about this sometimes before. How much time before the time of expiration? There is not a specific date, but you have to consider that between the moment you ask to the prefettura for the nulla osta for conversion to the moment that the prefettura will give you an answer can come sometimes. It can be 1 week, 2 weeks, also 1 month, for example. So after that you have to consider that your permit has to be still in validity when you apply for conversion. So in this case you have to think to put in renew in conversion your job permit from seasonal job permit to ordinary job permit, something like 2 months before the date of expiration of your first permit. 2 months before the moment of the expiration of your permit, you apply with the prefettura for the nulla osta for conversion. You wait for an answer from the prefettura and then you apply for the conversion of your permit with the questura. This must happen before the permit has expired. But let's say that the prefettura is still taking time before giving you an answer, and in the meantime the permit is expiring, is near to the date of expiration. Have you to wait that the prefettura will answer, and so with the risk that you apply for the conversion once the permit has expired? My advice is not to wait. I told you that you have to apply with the prefettura for the nulla osta of conversion 2 months before the date of expiration and to wait 1 month for their answer. If, for example, the prefettura shouldn't give you an answer after 1 month you applied for the quota of conversion, you can apply with the questura for the conversion of your permit. In this case, when you will go to the appointment, you will take with you a copy of your application with the prefettura and the date of the application of your prefettura, in order that the questura will see that you took the case with anticipation respect to the expiration of the permit. In the meantime, you consider that the appointment with the questura for the conversion of your permit from seasonal to ordinary job permit, the appointment will come after some months, and this means that maybe for the date when you go to questura for your conversion of permit, maybe the prefettura will have take a decision about the presence of the nulla osta for conversion. So my advice is that you wait for 1 month after you apply for the quota of conversion with the prefettura. If after 1 month you will not have yet an answer from the prefettura, you can apply for the conversion of your permit with the questura, and then for some luck you can get your answer from the prefettura before the time you go to questura. Another thing that I want to advise you, very important, in all this process, from the moment you got the Nulla Osta from your employer to the moment you enter in Italy, and then you applied for job permit and also for the conversion from seasonal job permit to ordinary job permit, I advise you not to trust about people from your country that are giving you fake news about the situation, not to follow voices from any people about how to behave after you have your seasonal job permit, but just trust Italian lawyers. You find an Italian lawyer. If you have any doubt about how to behave after you are arrived in Italy, you go to an Italian lawyer that is specialized in immigration issues, in order that he can give you the right hints about the steps that you have to follow, because that is the only way not to do any mistake on this procedure. This procedure can be complex, as you have seen in this video. So if you have some doubts about what to do, and if you don't go to an Italian lawyer specialized in immigration to follow you in this application, you risk to do some very dangerous mistakes that can lead you to be in Italy with an expired permit and then with the risk to receive a deportation order, because in Italy you cannot stay without a valid permit in your hand. So you have to consider that once you receive a deportation order because you are in Italy without a valid permit, you have to go back to your country, and then you cannot come back to Italy before 5 years from the deportation order. So this is a risk, because you have done some sacrifices to come to Italy, so you don't want to lose your opportunity to stay in this country. So my last advice is go to lawyers, even if they ask you some money to follow your case, but you have to consider that those money are given to protect you against any dangers that you lose your opportunity to stay in Italy. So I hope that you like this video. Please share it, like it again, and we'll see very soon for a new video on this channel. Good day!